Hello, and I've got a story time for you. This is not a perfume video, so if you're looking for perfume, I've got millions of videos. Go and watch one of those. Don't go anywhere, stay on my channel. But this is story time. I'm just going to talk about my hair experience. I had a Kerasilk straightening treatment a couple of months ago, but I'm actually going to tell you the whole story about my hair nightmare right from the very beginning. So I hope you are sitting comfortably. I'm not sure how long this one will go on for. So this is a lockdown hair nightmare story, and it starts at the beginning. I was hoping to get the Kerasilk Keratin treatment because I was thinking that it would just defrizz my hair. My hair is naturally curly, and I thought that it might just drop the curl a little bit but make it more smoother and not frizzy. So that was my hopes for the Kerasilk treatment, and I had it booked in, and then the first lockdown hit, so the appointment got cancelled. And then we were in lockdown for quite a long time, and my hair was getting really heavy. It was kind of out of shape. The front round here was really heavy, and it was just driving me mental, to the point that I got my kitchen scissors and I chopped a massive amount off around the front. And of course, when it's curly, then shoots up like this. And then I had to try and even out round the back because I'd taken too much off the front. So I was chopping like this, and basically I chopped off far too much of my hair. And then when I was finally able to get to the hairdressers, he had to obviously chop quite a lot of it to even it up. So I lost a lot of hair. And then we had the treatment. I had the Kerasilk treatment, and I came out of the salon and it looked amazing. It was super straight and shiny and gorgeous. And then when it came to doing it myself, I realised it wasn't quite what I wanted. It wasn't the result I wanted, because I thought that I would still have a curl, but actually most of my hair was fairly straight with a little bit of curl left in some parts, so it was uneven. I was hoping I wouldn't have to straighten it with straighteners every single time, but if I didn't and I just tried to leave it natural, there was some bits a little bit curly and some bits straight, and it just didn't look great unless I straightened it. So already I wasn't too happy, or I wasn't really loving the effect. It just didn't work for me. It was no one's fault. It just didn't work for me. It didn't meet my expectations. So the next problem that I had was, because it now takes me so much longer to do my hair, because I have to wash it, dry it, and it takes me ages just to get it dry, and then run the straighteners through it. So I was washing it less often, and it was looking a little bit greasy, and so I thought I'll just chuck a bit of talc. I didn't have any of that dry shampoo, so I thought I'll chuck a bit of talc into the roots, and that will freshen it up and take some of the grease away. And I used this Lush talc, which I didn't think at the time, and it had little chunky bits of glitter in it. And then I needed to run the straighteners through it because it got a bit kinky. I think it was the next day, and when I ran the straighteners through it, what I think I did was I still had this Lush product, this weird talc and glitter combination in my hair, and basically I frazzled all the ends, particularly all around here, around the front. All these ends are completely frazzled by the combination of the straighteners and this Lush product in my hair, which is not for hair, by the way. It is a talc, so it's not for the hair. I used it incorrectly. So I ruined all the ends of my hair, and then I thought, okay, right, I need to get the ends cut off. I need to get it cut. And so I went back to the hairdressers when I could get in, because the hairdresser's so busy still fitting in everyone following lockdown. and he chopped off a sort of a fair amount around the front, but I said try and keep it a bit longer around the back. And then after that, not too long after that, I realised it just needed more off around the back, because it was too short round the front and too long, almost mullet like, and it's what I asked for. So again, no one's fault. And then lockdown was threatening. We were going to have another lockdown, so I couldn't get in with my normal hairdresser, and I had a friend of a friend who was able to come round and fit me in just before lockdown happened. And I just said, look, you have to just be brutal, and she chopped tons off. The ends are still really bad up here, but she chopped tons off and all around. So now I've got much shorter hair than I ever had, and I still have really bad ends, so they're all frazzled up around here. And also it takes me longer to get it done, and I'm just not an expert at straightening my hair. It was something that I let the hairdresser do as a nice thing once in a while, but I didn't want to do it all the time myself. And I quite like my curly hair. Now it's gone. So I think that's kind of it, really. That's the story of my hair. And yeah, lockdown hair. I did also, there's one more part to it. I had to dye it myself. And I rushed before lockdown, because the shops were all closing again, so I rushed to the beauty suppliers and bought some dye, but I wasn't quite sure what colours to get. And I buy the professionals the same stuff that my hairdresser uses, but I didn't remember what colours to get, so I picked a selection, and then I got his advice on the phone, on Messenger, and said, which ones should I use? And he said, mix that with that one and that will come out really nice. And so the first time I dyed my hair myself, it came out really nice, a nice colour, not too dark, kind of coppery. And then I ran out of that dye, and I only had left the ones he'd recommended I don't use, but my roots were coming through, and I get quite grey roots. It's horrible, but it's a fact. I get quite grey roots, and they were coming through, and I can't bear it. So I had to just use the dye I had, and it was pretty dark. And so I used it the other day, and the hair was really dark, quite dark brown, which I don't find very flattering on my skin. It can make me look really pale. So I've just given it 2 shampoos, and luckily it's lightening up again, and the red, because I used some red in the dye, and the red is now coming through. So fortunately that darkness is fading already. So there's a little bit of good news. But basically I feel like I just want to shave it all off and start again, because it's driving me nuts. So that's my hair story. Let me know, have you tried the Kerasilk Keratin treatment, or you had any of those kind of straightening treatments or relaxing treatments, and how did it go for you? I won't do it again. I think I just need to embrace my curly hair, and I was embracing my curly hair, but I thought that it would just be smoother and easier, and it wasn't. So I think if you're someone who's already always straightening your hair, the Kerasilk treatment or any keratin treatment is going to make it an easier job for you. It's an easier job to blow dry it straight, and it's an easier job to run the straighteners through, and it will stay better in humidity or rain or bad weather. So all of those are pluses. But if you are someone who wants to keep your natural curl, then I don't think it's going to be for you. It certainly wasn't for me. So I hope this has been helpful for someone out there. Might prevent one person going through what I've been through. In that case, it's worth me coming on here and talking about it with you. So that's it then. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.